Iowa High School non-conference girls softball is on the air on 99.1 The River and riverradiofm.com. Pat Wagner with you from Decorah for high school softball. The Indians, the Waukon Indians, at the Decorah Vikings in high school softball here tonight. If you're looking for the Decorah Southwind baseball game, 94-9. 100% on the call on that game. I'm here with you tonight from Decorah. A matchup of two longtime rivals, the Decorah Vikings hosting the Waukon Indians in high school softball. Glad to be with you, folks. Decorah coming into this game with a record of 3 wins and 10 losses. The Indians are 2-13. Decorah won the JV game 10-9. Good effort by the Indians. They led much of the game. Decorah came back in the final inning to pull it out. So Decorah wins the JV game. We'll be ready to go here probably in about 10 or 15 minutes with the varsity contest here on 99.1 The River and riverradiofm.com. And we're also going to be on the LA Communications YouTube channels. But there will not be there will only be audio. There will not be video, which is a very good thing for all you people out there. So glad to have you with us wherever you are, Northeast Iowa, Southeast Minnesota, and Southwest Wisconsin. We have a lot of sponsors. I'm probably only going to do partial groups of sponsors throughout the night, and I apologize if we don't get all of our sponsors covered multiple times tonight, but this game is brought to you in part by the Spillway in Harpers Ferry, voted the #1 dive bar. As we discussed last night, we're not sure if it's the #1 dive bar in Harpers or in Almaquis County or Iowa or the Midwest or nationally, but it's been voted the #1 dive bar. That's the Spillway in Harpers Ferry, Iowa. This game is also brought to you in part by the Almaquis County Farm Bureau, Veterans Memorial Hospital, Kurth Plumbing and Heating, your Amana dealer, Freedom Bank with locations in Postville, Monona, Elkader, and Waukon, Melbourne Savings Bank, Fairway of Waukon, WW Homestead Dairy, Light and Electric, Southside Marine, Cayas Country, Shep's Riverside Bar and Grill across the tracks on the riverfront in Lansing, Iowa, Westside Waukon Lumber, Scott Howgett State Farm, Mississippi Meats, The Implement, Green Lawn, Lawn Care, The Buck Stops Here, Ashbecker Building Supplies, Floors Plus, Lansing CarQuest Auto Parts, Tough Tech Metals, Red Geranium Floral and Gifts, Paint Creek Crop Protection Services, that's Cody Mathis, Tri-State Plumbing and Heating, and Current Brothers Savings Bank. The pregame show is going to be brought to you by your Farm Bureau agent here in Decorah, Mike Rakentich. We'll get through our Decorah sponsors as the game moves on. As I said, the pregame show brought to you by Mike Rakentich. The Indians are the visiting team on the scoreboard tonight. They're 1-10 in the Upper Iowa Conference. They're 2-13 overall. Their head coach is Melissa Ward, and she's assisted by Macy Manning and Caitlin Cranberry. Last night, they lost to the Upper Iowa Conference Big School Division leader, New Hampton, by scores of 9-0 and 17-0. Last Friday night, Indians had a couple of good shots at a victory. They lost to MFL Marmac 2-0 and 11-10 in 10 innings. And tomorrow night, the Indians will be in New Albany to take on Upper Iowa Conference Small Division School leader Keyhigh in an Upper Iowa Conference doubleheader that'll begin around 5 o'clock. Indians score about 3.5 runs a game, and they give up about 7.5 runs a game. Harper Breitsprecher, 11 hits in the season, batting .314 with a double and 6 RBIs. Bryn Weimiller, batting .412 on the season with 6 runs driven in, and Elsie Sweeney batting .348. Those are the three of their top hitters. Addie Olson, 4 stolen bases on the season, leads in that department. Their pitcher tonight will be senior Isabella Rounds. She's got both of their victories. She's 2-3 in 28 innings. She has struck out 14. The Vikings are 3-10. They're playing an independent schedule this year. As you know, these two teams were both longtime members of the Northeast Iowa Conference. And Waukon, New Hampton, and Cresco have now joined the Upper Iowa Conference, and Decorah playing in an independent schedule for a couple of seasons, and they will be joining the WAMAC Conference, I believe, for the 2028 school year. Their head coach is Jill Boyd. She's assisted by Mallory McArthur, Isabel Idy, and Lillian Olson. Last time they played was Saturday, and they split a pair of games at the Jessup tournament, beating Starmont 5-4 and losing to Wapsie Valley 8-2. Next time they play is going to be Thursday night, and that's going to be a 5 p.m. game from West Union against North Fayette Valley, the Tiger Hawks. And Randy will have that game for you on 99.1 The River, 94.9 FM, riverradiofm.com. He'll have the 5 o'clock game, and then I will also be on the air that night. At 7 o'clock, I will have South Winneshiek baseball at Keyhigh from New Albany. And what's always a big Upper Iowa Conference baseball game. Decorah also travels to Mason City on Friday for a varsity doubleheader, varsity softball doubleheader. Their leading hitter on the season has been Lauren Luzin, their catcher. 382 hitter with 13 hits, 2 doubles, a triple, home run, and 9 RBI. She's also stolen 6 bases. Clara Yelly batting .394 with a home run and 8 RBIs. She's their pitcher. She's 3-8 on the season. In 58 innings, she struck out 63 and walked 15. That's Clara Yelly, their senior pitcher. Jacera Tweeton leads them in stolen bases with 7. Lineup's going to be Waukon lineup tonight will be brought to you by WW Homestead Dairy. South Rossville Road in Waukon, Iowa. WW Homestead Dairy reminds you that June is Dairy Month.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
On a beautiful night like tonight, swing by the WW Homestead Dairy in Waukon. Pick up a nice ice cream treat. Maybe get yourself a malt or a shake or an ice cream cone. And WW Homestead Dairy has the best in dairy products. Nice light cottage cheese, cream-lined milk. Get a quart of ice cream, and make sure you pick up some cheese curds from the Iowa cheese, the cheese curd capital of Iowa, WW Homestead Dairy, South Rossville Road in Waukon, Iowa. They bring you the Waukon lineup, and here is the Indian lineup. They will go with Ruan Mathis leading off, and she is playing at first base. Sophomore Addie Olson bats second. She's in center field. Hitting third will be Harper Breitsprecher, an 8th grader, at shortstop. Cleanup batter is the third baseman, Bryn Weimiller. Batting fifth and doing the pitching, Isabella Rounds. Hitting sixth in right field, Elsie Sweeney. Batting seventh and playing second base, Riley Mathis. Hitting eighth for the Indians and doing the catching is Layla Weiner. And batting ninth in left field, Haley Miller. And, of course, they're coached by Melissa Ward, assisted by Macy Manning and Caitlin Crambier. And once again, they go with Ruan Mathis, Addie Olson, Harper Breitsprecher, Bryn Weimiller, Isabella Rounds, Elsie Sweeney, Riley Mathis, Layla Weiner, and Haley Miller. For the Vikings, the Decorah lineup being brought to you by the Whippy Dip. If you're not in Waukon, to swing by the WW Homestead Dairy, and you're got a hankering for an ice cream cone or a malt or maybe a tornado, swing by the Whippy Dip right here in Decorah, Iowa. The Whippy Dip brings you the Viking starting lineup, and they will lead off with their senior center fielder, Dylan Thompson. Hitting second, doing the catching, is a senior, Lauren Luzum. Hitting third and pitching is Clara Yelly. Cleanup hitter is the third baseman, Jacera Tweeton. Batting fifth at first base, Katie Pattison. Batting next is Olivia Brinsis in left field. The DP bats seventh. That's Hayden Farley. She's hitting for the right fielder, Hadley Alexander. Batting ninth at shortstop, June Fastbinder. And batting eighth at shortstop is June Fastbinder, and hitting ninth at second base, Jenna Leuenberger. Now, beautiful rendition of our national anthem from, I'm sure, one of the choirs. I'm sure that from the Decorah High School choir. Beautiful rendition, beautifully done. And we're just about ready to go here from Decorah. So once again, the Vikings go with Thompson, Luzum, Yelly, Tweeton, Pattison, Brinsis, Farley. She's the designated player, and she is hitting for Alexander, their right fielder, Fassbinder, and Leuenberger. What a beautiful night. It was a cloudy, overcast, kind of breezy, mid-60s day, and boy, the clouds have blown out. It's beautiful sunshine here in Decorah, just about ready to go. Blue skies, just a smattering of clouds, and it's going to be a great night for high school softball. About 67 degrees here. We're going to be getting underway here at about 7:06 p.m. And as I said, if you are looking for Randy and Decorah Southwind Baseball, that's on 94.9 right at this very moment. Ruan Mathis, Addie Olson, Harper Breitsprecher, first three for the Indians here in the first inning. Remember, weatherology twice every hour on all your LA communication stations, including this one, 99.1 The River, riverradiofm.com. Yelly into the rocking motion. Here's a pitch, and there's a ground ball right past me. No balls and one strike. I'm on the first base side tonight. I was on the third base side in New Hampton last night. On the first base side tonight, right near the Waukon dugout. Ball's low. Pitch is low. One ball and one strike on Indian leadoff hitter Ruan Mathis. She's a sophomore, going to be a junior next fall at Waukon High School. Swung on and missed. Clara Yelly's been in the circle for the Vikings for several seasons now. She's a graduated senior. She rubs that ball up on her right hip, gets her sign, into the rocking motion she goes. That pitch is just a bit low. I believe the count is 2 balls and 2 strikes now. Yep, there you go. Sometimes we get ahead of the scoreboard, and sometimes we're not even sure. Here comes a 2-ball, 2-strike pitch to Ruan. Bounce foul on the third base side. Vikings, the home team, there in the third base dugout here in Decorah, and the Indians just to my right in the first base dugout. Nice crowd on hand. Still plenty of time, though, and still plenty of room for you, folks. Swung on and missed. She struck her out. 64th strikeout on the season for Clara Yelly. And Addie Olson. Right-handed batter for the Indians. Steps in, hits. She's a center fielder. She's a sophomore. Swings and hits a foul off the glove of the catcher. No balls and 1 strike. It's going to be Olivia Brinsis, Dylan Thompson, and Hadley Alexander. That's the Decorah outfield, left, center, and right. Infield, third to first is Jasera Tweeton, June Fassbinder, Jenna Leuenberger, and Kate Pattinson. There's a pitch in the dirt, bouncing back to the screen. Counts even at a ball and a strike just underway from Decorah. Beautiful setting here. If you've never been here, the dike. There's a dike separating the softball field from the Upper Iowa River, flowing just on the other side of it. There's a hot line drive foul just past us over the Waukon dugout. A ball and 2 strikes. So Yelly has done a good job getting ahead of both hitters here tonight. Home plate umpire, Bob Bergman of Maynard. Swung on and missed. 2 up, 2 down here in the top of the first. On the bases, Mr. Robert Camp of Elkader. Two veteran officials. Remember, sportsmanship is a priority of the Decorah Community School District, the Allen McKee Community School District, and the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. Ball low. 1 ball and no strikes on Harper Breitsprecher, Indian graduated 8th grader. 314 hitter on the year. There's a swing and a miss. popping away from the catcher. Counts even at a ball and a strike. Remember, sportsmanship is priority one. Encourage the athletes. Respect the work of the officials and the coaches. Cheer, don't jeer. Swung on and missed, strike two. On Harper Breitsprecher. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Indians' next action is tomorrow night in New Albany against Keyhigh. Strike 3 called. She painted the outside corner. Yelly strikes out the side. The Indians go in order in the first. We're going to the bottom half of the first. Waukon nothing, and Decorah coming up. First inning being brought to you by the Spillway in Harper's Ferry. This game is brought to you in part by Kingpin Entertainment, where they have 11x17 curved golf an 11x17 curved golf simulator and other games. Voltmer Electric, Dental Associates of Decorah, Raymond James, that's Dick Cuvalier and Brent Van Sloten here in Decorah, Elliott Jewelers, Epic Wear, Oneota Financial, Countywide Plumbing and Heating, Decorah Bank and Trust, Hovden Oil, Knox and Associates, the Car Auto Group, Plan One Financial, Stanley Engineered Fastening, Riser Financial, the Whippy Dip, Farm Bureau agent Mike Rakentich, Wicks Financial, Perry Novak Electric, Truck Country, the Viking Bank and Trust, Casper Plumbing and Heating, Finholt Construction, and Triad Kitchens, Benefits Inc., Bruning Rock Products, Weiss GMC, Dutrack Community Credit Union, and Don Anderson Insurance. Isabella Rounds, Waukon, right-handed pitcher, completing her warm-up. She's 1-2, lost 3. She's pitched 28 innings. She's struck out 14 batters. Dylan Thompson is going to lead off for Decorah, right-handed batting Viking center fielder. She graduated this spring, and she takes a pitch at the knees for a strike. No balls and 1 strike on Dylan Thompson. Stands up near the front of the batter's box, holds the bat right down in the knob. Shows bunt. Pitches low, 1 ball and 1 strike. Indians with Brent Weimerler at third. Harper Breitsprecher is the shortstop. Second baseman, Riley Mathis and Ruin Mathis at first. Isabella Rounds into the rocking motion. Here's her pitch. There's a bunt up the first base line. It's a pretty good one. Rounds picks it up, and they're not going to get her. Bunt single by Thompson. Decorah's got their leadoff girl aboard. Their head coach is Jill Boyd. Her assistants are Mallory McArthur, Isabel Eide, and Lillian Olson. Second hitter is Lauren Luzum. There's a strike in the inside corner. Nice pitch from Isabella Rounds. Her battery mate is Layla Weiner. Indian outfield, Addie Olson's in center. She's flanked and left by Haley Miller and in right by Elsie Sweeney. Over the head she goes with her arms into the rocking motion. Pitches low in the dirt. There goes the runner Thompson. The throw down to second base. She's going to be safe with a stolen base. Decorah now with a runner in scoring position and nobody out. 1 ball and no strikes. 1 ball and 1 strikes on this hitter. Lauren Luzum, she's a good one. 13 hits on the year, batting .382. 2 doubles, a triple, a home run. 9 RBIs. There's a pitch skipping away from the catcher. Was in the dirt. Luzum had to do a little 2-step to get out of the way of it. Wild pitch puts the runner in third with nobody out. Indian outfield playing straight away. Fairly deep, about medium depth. Rounds into the rocking motion. Here's the right-hander's delivery. It's high and away. 3 balls and 1 strike. What a beautiful night for softball. I thought during the day I might have to put my long johns on to come over here and do this game, but it's turned out to be just a gorgeous night. People up on the dike in lawn chairs watching. People out walking their dog behind the field. Kids playing behind the center field fence. Ball 4 outside. Good lawn chair crowd in the shade down the left field line. Vikings occupying the third base dugout, and a lot of lawn chairs on that side of the field between the dugout and home plate. First and third, now nobody out. Here's Clara Yelly. Round's delivery is upstairs. And Luzum will trot down to second base. Layla Weiner came up out of her crouch, took a look at her, and then turned and made a fake toward third. Second and third now. Indian corner infielders are up. And middle infielders back. There's a pitch. Nice job by Layla Weiner blocking that pitch in the dirt. 2 balls and no strikes. Middle infielders. Harper Breitsprecher, the shortstop. Riley Mathis, the second baseman. They'll give up a run to get an out on a ground ball. Bryn Weimiller playing about a step in front of the bag at third. Here comes the pitch. It's bunted. Right back toward Rounds. Throw to first is too high. Backed up nicely by Elsie Sweeney, the right fielder. Vikings get a run out of it. It was a safety squeeze. Thompson wasn't going until Rounds picked it up and made the throw to first. So it's 1-0 Decorah. And it's 2-0 Decorah, my bad. Lauren Luzum came out round all the way from second to score on that. Going to go E1 on that throw. And it's 2-0 Decorah. We got a pitching change. The new pitcher for the Indians will be the 8th grader. Harper Breitsprecher. So Harper's going to come in from shortstop to pitch. See who we got playing shortstop. Pitching change. Waukon pitching change being brought to you by Allen McKee County Farm Bureau. Harper Breitsprecher. See if I can find her here. Has pitched 30 innings. She's got 37 strikeouts. So Harper's going to come in from shortstop to pitch. I'm going to tell you, folks, her brother pitched a very courageous 3 innings last night in New Hampton. Indian boys did a really, really nice job. Colton O'Neill with a shutout in game 1. And then Harper Breitsprecher and Zeke Ritalik teaming up on the mound. And a 6-run outburst in the 6th inning. And the Indians came away with a doubleheader sweep. Addie Olson has moved from center field to shortstop. And when I get a chance, I'll let you know who the new center fielder is. I have my headsets on, so it's hard to hear. Elsie Sweeney moved from right to center. Okay, thought that looked like her. Is that the third Mathis girl in right field? Okay, so 2 runs in. Nobody out, runner in first. First pitch from Harper Breitsprecher is a strike to Sarah Tweeton. Just underway, Decorah 2, Waukon nothing here on 99.1 The River. And River Radio FM. She shows bunt. The pitch is high and away. Throw down to second base, and that's into center field. But right there is Elsie Sweeney doing her job, backing up the play nicely. Toying the rubber is Harper Breitsprecher. Another rocking motion. Here's her pitch. Pitch is high and away. 2 balls and 1 strike. Got lots of room. Got bleachers just to the left of home plate, right directly behind home plate, and about 4 rows of bleachers right behind me between home plate and first base. Pitch is high and away. 3 balls and 1 strike. Indians went in order in the top half of the inning. Decorah, bunt single, walk, and an E1. Nobody out, runner in second. They have a 2-0 lead. Here comes the pitch. Must have been inside. Ball 4. Oh, those bases on balls. Randy's going to be on the air tomorrow night. Doubleheader from Olensack Field, not too far to our left. No, not too far from our right. I'm sorry. Right down Allen McKee Street. Strike 1 to Kate Pattison. Runners at first and second now. Cedar Rapids Candy at Decorah tomorrow night on 99.1 The River, 94.9 FM, River Radio FM.com. Randy will have that doubleheader for you if you can't get here. Strike 2. Nice pitch. Moved it over a little bit to the inside corner. No balls and 2 strikes from Harper Breitsprecher to Kate Pattison. Thompson singled. Luzum walked. Yelly reached on an error. That scored 2 runs. Tweeten walked. First and second, nobody out. Rocking motion by the right-hander. Swung on and fouled back to the screen. Sun setting to the west. Pretty much right in my sight line. That's okay. We'll make it. No balls and 2 strikes. Breitsprecher to Kate Pattison. Ball low to a ball and 2 strikes. Good pitcher's pitch. Good waist pitch on 0-2 from the 8th grade right-hander. Here she comes. 1-2. Grounded toward third. And through the legs of Bryn Weimiller and into left field. Right there quickly backing it up is Haley Miller. And the bases are going to be FOV, full of Vikings, for Olivia Brinsis. All Indian infielders with those lightweight protective masks on. Third short, second and first. As does pitcher Harper Breitsprecher. First pitch, check swing. Able to lay off a pitch high and away is Olivia Brinsis. All Indian outfielders. The left and center fielder anyway with gray visors on. Strike right down the middle. 1 ball and 1 strike to Olivia Brinsis. Bases are loaded. Nobody out. 2 Viking runs in. They lead 2-0 here in the bottom half of the first inning. Harper Breitsprecher rubbing that neon green ball up on her right hip. There's strike 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Yeah, she looks like she's got potential to be a good one. Got a little bit of speed on her ball. Probably potential to have a little more velocity. Here's the 1-2. Lined into right center field for a base hit. 1 run's going to score. Here comes another run scoring. Patterson's motoring to third and an RBI, 2 RBI single to right center field by Olivia Brinsis. And that brings up Hayden Farley. She's their designated player. She's batting for the right fielder Alexander. She squares the bunch. Here's Breitsprecher's pitch. Nice job by Layla Wayner on a pitch low and inside in the dirt. And she got her body over there and was able to keep her glove down and keep it in front of her. 1 ball and no strikes. Indians with black tops, black bottoms. Ground ball foul over by the first base dugout. Orange pinstripes in their black tops. Waukon in all caps across the front in orange, trimmed in white. Orange numerals trimmed in white. Most Indians have, yes, all Indians have orange socks on. It's a pitch inside. 2 balls and a strike. Indian uniform report brought to you by Epic Wear in Waukon, Iowa. 4 runs in, nobody out. Runners at second and third. Popped up. Back over our head, foul and out of play. Counts even at 2 balls and 2 strikes on Hayden Farley. Indians, as we said, on the road tomorrow in New Albany to take on Coach Hill and the Keyhawks. Strike 3 called. Nice pitch. She got her looking, and that's the first out of the game. First out of the bottom half of the first inning here. 38th strikeout in the season for Harper Breitsprecher, and that brings up June Fastbinder, their freshman shortstop. Into the rocking motion goes Breitsprecher. Here's the pitch. On the outside corner, strike 1. 4 runs on 2 hits, a couple of walks, a couple of errors. Runners at second and third, 1 out. 8th hitter in the lineup, Fastbinder. Swings, it's a roller back toward Breitsprecher. And glove by Olson. Nice play. Throw across the diamond. Runner heading to third is safe. Nice job by Addie Olson. She charged it hard. It got by Harper. Tried to make a backhanded play on it. Addie Olson charged it home hard, made a strong throw across the diamond to Ruan Mathis, and there are 2 outs. Run scores on the play, makes it 5-0 Decorah. And there's a swing and a miss by Jenna Leuenberger, their second baseman. Vikings, red softball pants, white jerseys, blue sleeves, Decorah in all caps and red across the front, red numerals, red, white, and blue. There's a bunt out in front of home plate. Charging hard is Mathis, so to first, and they just did get her. Nice job by Ruan Mathis and Riley Mathis. Riley covering first quickly. Nice play by Ruan to throw out Leuenberger, and that retires the side. 9 Vikings came to the plate. 5 runs scored on 2 hits, 2 errors, and 1 left. We played 1 complete from Decorah in girls softball. 99 on 99 the River, riverradiofm.com, and your LA Communications YouTube station. Decorah 5 and Waukon 0. In a game brought to you by Al-McKee County Farm Bureau, Veterans Memorial Hospital, Kurth Plumbing and Heating, your local Amana dealer. Amana, it lasts and lasts and lasts. Freedom Bank, the New Albany Savings Bank. Fairway of Waukon, WW Homestead Dairy, Leiden Electric. And we'd also like to thank a lot of our Decorah sponsors, including Rockweiler Appliance. Let Rockweiler's save you money. Hy-Vee and Decorah. The Fireman's Inn. Bowden Steiner Implement, one of our great sponsors. Sports season in and sports season out. The Viking Safe Store. Olsgaard Auto Sales. Jim's Appliance and JW Kitchens. Oneota Physical Therapy. Letterworks. Fairway of Decorah. Vicks Plumbing and Heating and the Nordic Hearth Showroom. The Decorah uniform description was brought to you by the Gallery of Tops. Pitch outside to Bryn Weimiller. Weimiller rounds, and Elsie Sweeney. We'll see if Isabella Rounds bats. She left the game outside, ball 2. Yep, the girl who went into play right field is going to hit, and that's Ransom Mathis. Isabella Rounds can re-enter the game at any time. Right now we got Ransom Mathis playing right field, and she's going to be the next hitter. Ground ball toward short, played on the hop by Fastbinder. Lofts a throw across the diamond, and there's 1 up and 1 down. Bryn Weimiller retired short to first, and here's Ransom Mathis. Now playing right field. The first pitch to Ransom is a strike in the outside corner from Clara Yelly. Decorah with 5 in the first, leading this game 5-0. Next time to Decorah, Vikings play softball. Pitch inside, ball 1, 1 ball and 1 strike. Will be Thursday at North Fed Valley, and Randy will have that game. And then following that game, I will be on at about 7 o'clock for South Winneshiek at Key High and high school baseball. If you can't get to either one of those games, folks, don't be afraid to tune in to 99.1 The River, 94.9 FM, riverradiofm.com. Strike 2 to Ransom Mathis. Here's the right-hander's delivery. Little roller foul over toward the Decorah dugout on the third base side. Clara Yelly, the Decorah pitcher. High and away, counts even. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Ransom Mathis. We got baseball and softball on all week, as we usually do. Strike 3 called. Ransom Mathis looked at it. 4 strikeouts in the game now for Yelly. Decorah hosting Cedar Rapids Kennedy in baseball tomorrow night. As we talked about, Thursday night, Decorah softball at North Fayette Valley, followed by Southwind baseball at Keyhigh. Well, I will have that for you. And on Friday, Waverly Shell Rock at Southwind. Strike 1 to Elsie Sweeney. Takes a pitch low and away, getting away from the catcher. Ball 1, and it's even at 1-1 now with Elsie Sweeney at the plate for the Indians. 67 beautiful degrees. Wind has died down. Only the hitter is a swing and a foul. The hitter and the Decorah third base dugout are in shade, as are most of the fans. All the players but the catcher and the hitter. In the sun, except third baseman, it won't be long. And she'll be in the shade also. So bouncer out toward third. Gloved on a nice play by Tweeten. Strong throw across the diamond, and that retires aside. Indians go in order. Heading to the bottom of the second. Score remains Decorah 5 and Keyhigh nothing. I'm sorry. You got to keep on me, folks. Decorah 5 and Waukon nothing. Some of our sponsors include Mississippi Meats, Scott Howgett, State Farm Insurance, West Side, Waukon Lumber, Shep's, Riverside Bar and Grill, Caius Country, Southside Marine. Second inning being brought to you by Darrow Farley Construction. Some of our other Decorah sponsors include Compai, the Compai Soda Shop, Hubka Construction, Paul Hudson at State Farm, Deco Products, Hacker Nelson and Company, Tri-State Doors, Decorah Tire, Toppling Goliath, Barney's Bar and Grill, West Side Dental, Total Tree Care, Mirachik Plumbing and Heating, and the Bright Spot Car Wash. Lots of great sponsors. Folks, shop local. Shop at your local brick and mortar stores in our area communities. Shop local. Support these local businesses. You don't need, if you can get it in Waukon or Decorah or Lansing or West Union or Postville or Monona or Caledonia or Cresco, do it. Don't go on Amazon. Shop local and support your local businesses that make our economy run here in Northeast Iowa. Support small business. There's a pitch high and away to Dylan Thompson. She's had a bunt single, a stolen base, and scored in the first inning. Harper Breitsprecher started the game at shortstop. There's a pitch low in the dirt. Nice job by Layla Weiner. She's done a nice job on a couple of low pitches in the dirt. Counts 2 balls and no strikes on Thompson. As we said, right down Alan McKee Street. 2 balls and a strike. As we said, Decorah came back to win the JV game. 10-9. Harper Breitsprecher. Rocking motion. Here's the pitch. Bunt. Going to roll foul. And the count's 2 balls and 2 strikes. We'd like to remind you that there's a critical shortage of umpires and really referees, officials for all sports on all levels. Talk to Brian Hilzebeck in Waukon. Line drive caught at first base by Ruan Mathis. 1 up and 1 down. You can talk to Brian Hilzebeck in Waukon or Adam Riley here in Decorah. Find out how you can get yourself an official shirt, blow a whistle, call balls and strikes. They need umpires and referees at all levels for all sports. You can start off on the junior high level and work your way up. Be more than an athletic supporter. Pitch maybe a little high. Ball 1 to Lauren Lusum. Be more than an athletic supporter. Be an athletic official. Go to ighsau.org. High pop-up. Nice effort by Ruan Mathis on a high pop-up in foul ground near the dugout. Diving effort by Ruan. A ball and a strike now on Lusum. She's hit a home run this year. Comes from a pretty good ball-playing family. Her dad was a good ball player. Guess what position he played? The same one she does. That holds the bat right down in the knob. Comes a 1-1 offering to Lauren Lusum. Off-speed pitch and a good one. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Lauren Lusum. Couple of veteran officials here today. That pitch is upstairs. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Bob Camp on the bases from Elkader and Bob Bergman from Maynard behind the plate. You see a lot of the same guys everywhere you go. A lot of you young people out there, don't be afraid to get in and to get involved. It's a good way to stay in touch with coaches and athletes. Line drive, past a diving effort by Addie Olson into center field for a solid base hit for Lauren Lusum. She's been on base twice now. Yeah, you can stay in shape. You can pick up a few extra dollars. You can build relationships with junior high and high school athletes or coaches. And you'll be serving your community and your area. Go to ighsau.org. Find out how you can become an official. Clara Yelly is hitting. Right-handed batter. Holds the bat right down in the knob. Takes a pitch low. Getting by Wayner. 1 ball and no strikes. Hi to Layla's dad in Waukon. And hi to everybody listening wherever you are in Northeast Iowa, Southeast Minnesota, Southwest Wisconsin. Hi to Spencer Yo up in New Albin. Pitch is outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Vikings have a runner on. That's second. That's Lauren Lusum. 1 out. 5-run first has given them a 5-0 lead. Harper Breitsprecher rubbing that ball up on her right hip. Here's the rocking motion and the pitch. Inside. 3 balls and no strikes. She's backed up by Haley Miller in left. Elsie Sweeney in center. Right fielder is Ransom Mathis. There's the old automatic. 3 balls and a strike. Infield, first to third, Ruan Mathis, Riley Mathis, Addie Olson, and Bryn Weimiller. Layla Wayner doing the catching from Harper Breitsprecher. Isabella Round started the game. Very high. Runner's gonna scamper to third anyway. Dared her to throw, and she didn't. Stolen base for Lusum. Base on balls to Yelly. First and third. 1 out. Sarah Tweeton is the batter. Holding that bat right down in the knob. Also a right-handed hitter. Line drive towards center, coming on and getting by Elsie Sweeney. Kicked off her shin. 2 runs have scored. Those cut off by Breitsprecher. And it's a 7-0 ball game on a ringing line drive single into center field by Sarah Tweeton. On the throw into the cutoff person, she was able to sprint to second base, so she got a 2 RBI double on that. Melissa Ward heading to the mound to visit with her infield and her pitcher. A lot of instruction going on here. you can rest assured that trip to the mound being brought to you by our good friends in Austin, Green Lawn Lawn Care. Driving over today, a lot of beautifully manicured lawns. We go to a lot of different football fields in the fall. Many of them are taken care of by Green Lawn Care. Maybe you're out around the fire pit tonight, roasting marshmallows on your picnic table, surrounded by a beautifully manicured lawn that was taken care of by Green Lawn Care in Austin. That's Green Lawn. That's www.greenlawniowa.com. Tyler Barth and his folks, they do a great job. There's a swing and a foul back into the screen by Kate Pattison. She reached on air and scored in the first. Vikings with 5 in the first, 2 in the second, and they lead this game 7-0. Runner at second, 1 out. There's a line drive to center. Elsie Sweeney's going to have to play this one on the hop. She gets it in quickly. Here comes the runner trying to score now, as the second baseman mishandled the throw from her center fielder. And it's an 8-0 game on back-to-back hits. It's now 8-0. RBI single by Pattison. Harper Breitsprecher peering in for a sign. She's been around the zone. One hopper to third, to second for one, no relay to first. First ball hitting Olivia Brinsis hit a one hopper to Bryn Weimler at third. She threw to second for the force play. And with 2 outs, Brinsis at first and Hayden Farley will bat. Breitsprecher in the rocking motion. Here's a pitch, ground ball towards second. Gloved by Riley Mathis. Throw on to first, and that retires the side. Decorah gets 3 more on 3 hits. There were no Indian errors, and there was 1 left. Played 2 complete. Decorah leading Waukon in high school girls non-conference softball, 8-0. This game being brought to you by D-Implement. The buck stops here. Ashbacker Building Supplies, Floors Plus, Lansing CarQuest Auto Parts, Tough Tech Metals, Red Geranium Floral and Gifts, Paint Creek Crop Protection Services, that's Cody Mathis, Tri-State Plumbing and Heating, Kern Brothers Bank, with locations in Lansing, Waukon, Decorah, Claremont, West Union, and Cedar Rapids. Your Farm Bureau agent, Mike Rackentich. Kingpin Entertainment here in Decorah. They've got an 11x17 curved golf simulator and other games. And Voltmer Electric. A lot of sponsors. Decorah has a lot of sponsors. Whoever our salesperson is in Decorah has done a good job. Going to be Riley Mathis, Layla Weiner, Haley Miller. First 3 for the Indians here in the 3rd inning. They trail in this game 8-0. You can get caught up on all of your local sports and all your local news with our sports editor, Darren Swenson, all throughout the morning hours on all your LA communication stations, including this one, 99.1 The River, riverradiofm.com. Here's Riley Mathis leading off the 3rd inning for the Indians. There's a pitch outside from Yelly. She's the pitcher. Lauren Lusum is the catcher. It's Pattison, Leuenberger, Fastbinder, and Tweeten. That's their infield first to third. Center fielder is Dylan Thompson, flanked by Brinsis in left and Alexander in right. The shadows are starting to creep across the field here. The hitter and the catcher and home plate umpire in shadows. The pitcher throwing from the middle of the diamond, the rubber from the sun into the shade. There's a grounder toward first. Gloved right at the bag by Kate Pattison, and there's 1 out. Here's Layla Weiner. She's done a nice job behind the plate, blocking pitches from her pitching staff here in the first couple innings of this game. Right-handed batter takes a strike right down the middle. I guess if you're in Decorah, that's right down Water Street. No balls and a strike on Layla Weiner. Rocking motion for Yelly. She swings and misses, does Layla. She's a right-handed batter. Stands up near the front of the box. I don't think I've seen a left-handed batter come up in this game yet. 0-2 pitch to Layla Weiner. Strike 3 called. 5 strikeouts in the game now for Yelly. Upper Iowa Conference softball standings, the big school division. Southwind is 8-0. They're 9-9 overall. New Hampton is 10-2 in the league. They're 13-9 overall. Crestwood is 6-2 in the league. There's a strike right down the middle to Haley Miller. Crestwood is third. They're 6-2 in the league, 9-5 overall. MFL Marmac 6-6 in the Upper Iowa Conference big school division, 7-14 overall. Pitch that's high and tight to Haley Miller. If she can reach, Ruan Mathis will bat. North Fifth Valley is 5th in the division. They're 5-5 and 10-9. Indians will be swung on and missed. Strike 2. Decorah, non-conference action, will be playing North Fifth Valley on Thursday. And the Indians 1-10 and 2-13 overall. A ball and 2 strikes on Haley Miller. Yelly into the rocking motion. Strike 3 called, and that retires the side. Indians go in order. Yelly and her defense have retired the first 9 Indians in a row. Heading to the bottom of the third, Decorah 8, Waukon nothing. On 99 Won the River, riverradiofm.com, and LA Communications Station. Game being brought to you in part by Dental Associates of Decorah, Raymond James Financial, that's Dick Cuvalier and Brett Van Sloten. Elliott Jewelers, Epicware, Oneota Financial, Countywide Plumbing and Heating, Decorah Bank and Trust, Hovden Oil, Knox and Associates, the Carr Auto Group, Plan One Financial, Stanley Engineered Fastening, Riser Financial, The Whippy Dip, Wicks Financial, Perry Novak Electric, Truck Country, Viking State Bank and Trust, Casper Plumbing and Heating, Finholt Construction and Triad Kitchens, Benefits Inc., Bruning Rock Products, Weiss GMC, Dutrack Community Credit Union, Don Anderson Insurance, and the third inning is being brought to you by Veterans Memorial Hospital in Waukon. Quality care from quality people. That's Veterans Memorial Hospital in Waukon, Iowa. A couple different times I've had to swing and a miss. I've done that a couple different times too. June Fastbinder. No balls and a strike from Breitsprecher to June Fastbinder. A couple different times I've had to do rehab, and the rehab department at the Veterans Memorial Hospital in Waukon, second to none. I'd start naming names, but I don't want to incriminate a few people, and also I would forget somebody. But one of the stalwarts, Brad Crambier, whose daughter is one of Melissa Ward's assistants. Caitlin Crambier, former Waukon softball player and a good one. Softball player at Luther College. 2 balls and a strike now in June Fastbinder. Here comes Harper Breitsprecher's 2-1 offering. Swinging a foul back to the screen. Indian boys are at home tonight against Anamosa. They've got a busy week. They go to Southwind on Wednesday. Coach Shell Smith's club. 2-ball, 2-strike pitch from Breitsprecher to Fastbinder is popped up. Coming in and catching it, and not catching it is Bryn Weimiller. She overran it. It was about a step behind her when it hit her glove, and she couldn't hang on to it. And Fastbinder is going to reach on what has to be an E5, and Bryn had to do it again. She'd say she'd catch it. Nobody out. Runner on first for Jenna Leuenberger. Bounce back to the mound her first time. Here's the rocking motion and the pitch. Low, blocked nicely by Weiner, but she's not going to be able to throw out Fastbinder, who scoots down to second base on a pitch that was in the dirt and blocked by Layla Weiner. Hi to Ryan and Dana. And hi to Andy Sayers in Waukon. Swing and a miss. Counts even at a ball and a strike. And we can never forget, even though we are not hearing from him much this year, we can never forget our good friend Larry and Ankeny. The honeydew list must be long. There's a swing and a miss. A ball and 2 strikes now. Oh! I was right. Jenna Leuenberger headed back to the dugout, and her teammates and her head coach had to tell her that she gets another strike. Well, here's the question, folks. Swung on and missed there, strike 3. Second strikeout of the game for Harper. And there's 1 out with 1 on here. If she would have went in the dugout and set her bat down, was she out? Fly ball. Shallow right center. Long run, Riley Mathis, the second baseman. She can't get it. The right fielder and the center fielder aren't going to be able to get it, and it's going to be a Texas League base hit on a little blooper. Checks kind of a half swing by Dylan Thompson, and she found the open area in the outfield for a base hit. She's got 2 hits in this game now. Runner advances to third. Riley Mathis made a good effort. Outfielders were not going to get to it. And there's runners at first and third with 1 out. Pitch is high to Lauren Luzum. Bryn Weimiller playing a couple steps in front of the bag at third. Ruin Mathis even with the bag at first. Ball 1 and no strikes from Harper Breitsprecher to the batter, Lauren Luzum. So his bunt. Looked like a good pitch from here. Yep, 1 ball and 1 strike. Runner at first took off to second, so his runners at second and third now with 1 out. Lauren Luzum, kind of a wide stance. Holds that bat right down in the knob. Line drive into left center field for a base hit. 1 runner scoring. Here comes another run scoring. And it's a 10-0 ball game in the 3rd inning. And Coach Ward is going to go out and visit with people. Kind of a soft line drive. It was kind of a soft line drive, and shortstop Addie Olson really did not get a good jump on it. Everybody, infielders, outfielders, and catcher are going to come in and visit in the circle with Coach Ward. Elsie Sweeney came charging in. She made the play on it, but then she did not get rid of it very quickly, and that allowed the second run to score, and it's now a 10-0 ball game on a 2 RBI single by Lauren Luzum. This trip to the mound being brought to you by the Buck Stops Here. That might have been Coach Ward's message. The Buck Stops Here, downtown Lansing. That's a great place to stop by and have your morning meal. They got great breakfast at the Buck Stops Here. That's my good friend Owen Buckmaster and his crew at the Buck Stops Here, right across the street from Kurt Brothers Savings Bank in Lansing, Iowa. Popped up. Going to get out of play. Hits the top of the grandstand, right straight behind home plate. No balls and a strike on Clara Yelly. 5 in the first, 3 in the second, 2 here in the third for Decorah. They lead this game 10-0. Clara Yelly hitting with a runner in second and 1 out. There's a strike at the knees. Throw to third. The tag. She's safe. Losing with a pair of stolen bases on each pitch. Now no balls and 2 strikes on Clara Yelly. She stands way up in the front of the box. She's a right-handed hitter. Line drive. Caught by Bryn Weimiller for the second out of the inning. Nice job. Leaping stab by Bryn Weimiller for the second out of the inning. Hey, let's get tweeting here, Indian fans. Get back in here and hit. Harper Breitsprecher, the right-hander, rubbing up that ball on her right hip. Pops up foul right over my head. 25 years ago, I might have reacted a little bit quicker. We're safe. We got a Waukon Indian running the foul ball down. No balls and a strike. That pitch is high. Ball and a strike on Jasera Tweeten. She's walked and scored. She's doubled and scored, driven in 2 runs. She's 1 for 1, 2 runs scored, a double and 2 RBIs. Pitches inside. Another nice job by Layla Weiner. The count is 2 balls and a strike on Tweeten, their senior third baseman, another right-handed batter. Hasn't been a left-handed batter in the game. Popped up foul. Be back around the top of the order. Ruan Mathis, Addie Olson, and Harper Breitsprecher for the Indians in the 4th inning. Whoops. Here comes Harper Breitsprecher's pitch. Way high and pulled down by Layla Weiner. Jordan Alvarez of the Houston Astros leading the American League in hitting at .328. Major League leader is the Miami Marlins infielder Otto Lopez. He's batting .339. There's a grounder to third. Foul, backhanded by Weimiller. Alvarez also leads the American League in home runs with 24. Kyle Schwarber of the Phillies leads the National League. He is also at 24 home runs. How about Byron Buxton of the Twins? He's got 23 home runs in the season. Swung on and missed. May have foul tipped it into the glove, and that retires the side. Good job coming back by Breitsprecher. 2 runs for Decorah in the 3rd. On 2 hits, there's an Indian error, and there was 1 man left on. We've played 3 complete. Decorah 10, and Waukon nothing. In a game being brought to you by Ashbacker Building Supplies, Force Plus, Lansing, CarQuest Auto Parts, Tough Tech Metals, Red Geranium Floral and Gifts, Paint Creek Crop Services, Crop Protection Services. That's Cody Mathis. Tri-State Plumbing and Heating, Kern Brothers Bank, Hy-Vee of Decorah, the Fireman's Inn, Bodensteiner Implement, the Viking Safe Store, Olsgaard Auto Sales, Jim's Appliance, and JW Kitchens, Oneota Physical Therapy, Letterworks, Fairway of Decorah, Vic's Plumbing and Heating, and the Nordic Hearth Showroom. We'll get the last page of Decorah sponsors when we return for our next round of sponsors. Decorah infielders, in contrast to the Indians, nobody wears a lightweight protective mask except the pitcher, Clara Yelly. And, of course, the catcher wears a mask. What a world that would be. Some of you out there remember back in probably the 60s in the NHL, the goalie didn't always wear a mask. Remember Gump Worsley of the Montreal Canadiens? He didn't wear a mask. Can you imagine tending goal in a hockey game without a mask on? You better be one tough guy or gal. There's a foul back into the screen by Ruan Mathis. Top of the 4th. 10 runs, 7 hits for Decorah. No runs on no hits for the Indians. Popped up foul. No balls and 2 strikes. Clara Yelly. 6 strikeouts on the game for the Viking right-hander. Backed up by Brinsis in left, Thompson in center, and Alexander in right. Outside. Tweeten, Fastbinder, Leuenberger, and Patterson. That's their infield, and Lauren Luzum is their catcher. Checking with her coach for what pitch she wants to throw. Ruan Mathis just does get a piece. Nice job by Ruan Mathis, spoiling that 1-2 pitch. Indians, as we said, back in action. They go to New Albany tomorrow night. Boy, I hope it's another beautiful night like this. best time of the year. Ground ball right to the first baseman. She hit it square. Patterson picked it out of the dirt. A couple steps toward the bag, and Ruan Mathis is retired 3 unassisted. One out here in the 4th. And here's Addie Olson. Addie Olson, 100-meter champion in the Upper Iowa Conference track championships. There's a swing and a miss. 100-meter and 200-meter dash champions in the Upper Iowa Conference for the girls' side. Addie Olson hitting right now for the Indians. Ball outside. Ball and a strike on Addie. You want to see a good hitter. Nick Kurtz of the Athletics, 57 runs driven in. He leads all baseball in that category. There's a pitch too close. Counts 2 balls and a strike now on Addie Olson. American League stolen base leader is the great Bobby Witt Jr. of the Kansas City Royals. He's got 26 swipes. There's a grounder foul by Olson. Counts even, 2 balls and 2 strikes. 1 out. We're in the 4th inning. Decorah leading 10-0. And hi to all our local police out there keeping us safe. Winneshiek County and Albuquerque County law enforcement agencies. Decorah, Waukon, Lansing policemen. Thanks for your great work. Ball 3, strike 2. Addie Olson takes a look at a pitch in the dirt. Chokes up about an inch, does Addie Olson, right-handed batter. Line drive toward right base, hit for Addie Olson. And there goes the no-hitter in a perfect game. Nice job by Addie Olson. Lines a single in the right center field. Indians have a base runner here with 1 out in the 4th for Harper Breitsprecher. National League leader in RBIs is Andy Paez of the Dodgers. And Jordan Walker of the Cardinals. They both have 56 runs driven in. Nasim Nunez of the Washington Nationals. He leads the National League in stolen bases with 25. They've got an exciting young team. The Washington Nationals, they've had a good season so far. A couple games over 500. Pitch outside, 2 balls and no strikes to Harper Breitsprecher. Bryn Weimiller waiting on deck to hit next. Macy Manning, first base coach's box for the Indians, and head coach Melissa Ward down at third. Outside, 3 balls and no strikes. Davis Martin of the Chicago White Sox, talk about a story, and Gavin Williams of the Guardians. They both have 9 wins leading the American League. Right down the middle, the old automatic. And Aaron Ashby of the Brewers leads the National League. He also has 9 pitching wins. What a story, the Chicago White Sox. How about that? But if you're a baseball fan, strike 2, same pitch, same location. If you're a White Sox fan, I'm happy for you. Wow, what a great season they're having. Currently leading the Central Division. Comes a 3-2 pitch to Harper. Swung on and missed. 7 strikeouts in the game now for Yelly. Nice job by Clara coming back. She was she was behind the hitter, 3 balls and no strikes. She came back to get her. And Bryn Weimler is going to bat. She bounced to short her first time. Right-handed batting, junior third baseman. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Major League earned run average leader. The same guy that leads the major leagues in strikeouts. The one and only Jacob Mizorowski. Swing and a miss, strike 2. How would you like to have a 6-foot long, lanky, 6'7" right-hander who can throw 100+ consistently and locate his breaking pitch looking at you while you're standing in the box? I think I'll remain a fan. Here comes the no-ball, 2-strike pitch from Yelly to Bryn Weimiller. Swung on and missed. She struck her out. The Indians got a hit. They left a runner. And 10-run rule after 4, so that is going to be the ball game. I'm going to run through these sponsors. Probably do a couple different spots with them. Sum the game up. Let you know what's going on later in the week. Do our thank yous and send it back to the station. This game was brought to you by Kurt Brothers Savings Bank, Tri-State Plumbing and Heating, Paint Creek Crop Protection Services, Cody Mathis, Red Geranium Floral and Gifts, Tough Tech Metals, Lansing CarQuest Auto Parts, Floors Plus, Ashbacker Building Supplies, The Buck Stops Here, Green Lawn, Lawn Care, D-Implement, Mississippi Meats, Scott Howgett State Farm, Westside Waukon Lumber, Sheps, Caius Country, Southside Marine, Leiden Electric, WW Homestead Dairy, Fairway of Waukon, the New Albans Savings Bank, Freedom Bank, Kurth Plumbing and Heating, your local Amana dealer, Veterans Memorial Hospital, Al McKee County Farm Bureau, and the Spillway in Harper's Ferry, along with Darrell Farley Construction, Compai Soda Shop, Hubka Construction, Paul Hudson at State Farm, Deco Products, Hacker Nelson and Company, Tri-State Doors, Decorah Tire, Toppling Goliath, Barney's Bar and Grill, West Side Dental, Total Tree Care, Marachik Plumbing and Heating, Bright Spot, the Bright Spot Car Wash, AJ Petersburg Agency and Real Estate, Friesen Associates Realtors, Don Jose Mexican Restaurant, Marceau Electric, Northeast Security Bank, the Gallery of Tops, Brince's Sales and Service, Ace Hardware and Ace Kitchen Place, Upper Iowa Marine, Saban's Family Table Restaurant, Folkadal Service on Montgomery Street, and Joe Malloy, your American Family Insurance Agency. And I apologize if I didn't mention you very often tonight. We have a lot of good Decorah sponsors, and we got all of our Waukon sponsors. So we had a 4-inning game, so we didn't get through them probably quite as much as we probably should have or would like to. We want to thank all of our sponsors for sponsoring high school sports on all of our LA communication stations. The Vikings scored 5 in the first, 3 in the second, 2 in the third. They win this game 10-0 in 4 innings, 10 runs, 7 hits, no errors, and 3 left for Decorah. Waukon, no runs, 1 hit. They committed 3 errors, and they left 1 person on base. The winning pitcher was Clara Yelly. She struck out 7. Losing pitcher was Isabella Rounds. Indians fall to 2-14. The Vikings move to 4-10. Post-game show being brought to you by Kurth Plumbing and Heating, your local Amana dealer, and here in Decorah. Where did those Decorah guys go? There they are. And here in Decorah, Don Jose Mexican Restaurant, they bring you the post game show. Waukon will be on the road again tomorrow night. They're going to New Albany to play the Keyhawks in an Upper Iowa Conference doubleheader. There's my helper waiting for me. And the Vikings are on the road on Thursday. Randy's going to have that game for you. A 7 o'clock start. I'm sorry, a 5 o'clock start against North Fayette Valley. And I will also be on the air that night, 7 o'clock, South Winneshiek at Key High in baseball. And Randy's on the air tomorrow night, Cedar Rapids Kennedy here in Decorah at Olin Zach Field to take on the Vikings in a double header. I'd like to thank Justin Albers here in Decorah. I'd like to thank Olaf and Darren at the station. I'd like to thank all of our sponsors for making high school sports possible on 99.1 The River, 94.9 FM, riverradiofm.com. And most importantly, I'd like to thank you, the listener, for tuning in to high school softball. Remember, Randy's on the air tomorrow night. In fact, he's probably on the air right now, Decorah at South Winn in baseball. You can tune into that on 94.9. So this is Pat saying thanks for listening, everybody. Hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed bringing it to you. This has been an LA Communications Sports presentation.